Hi, I'm Rob, and welcome to L-Space Archives. So today we're diving into part 3 of our massive book haul, and I do have some more doubles in this lot as well, so that means that we will have some more giveaways. First up, we have Gulliver of Mars by Edwin L. Arnold, with cover art by Frank Frazetta. This was originally titled Lieutenant Gulliver Jones, His Vacation, first published in hardcover in 1905. This book pioneered the whole Sword and Planet subgenre and was the inspiration, quotation marks, italicized, underlined, yes, we'll be kind and call it inspiration, for Edgar Rice Burroughs' John Carter of Mars series. Next, an author I'm not familiar with, James Sutherland. This is Stormtrack. I don't know anything about this one. It appears that, at least in terms of fiction, Sutherland only published this one novel and 3 short stories. Now, an author I absolutely adore, Theodore Sturgeon. Um, this is The Cosmic Rape, also known as To Marry Medusa, with cover art by Paul Lair. I'm going to be doing a review on this one soon, but I can tell you this was my original introduction to Sturgeon. And after reading it, I now own just about everything he's ever written. With that said, I'd never leave a Sturgeon on a thrift store shelf, no matter how many copies I own. So, of course, that means that this is one that's going to be a giveaway. So, if you're interested in a chance to win a free Theodore Sturgeon, please let me know in the comments. Next is Fred Saberhagen's The Vales of Aslarok, with uncredited cover art by Dean Ellis. Aslarok, a planet to fire the imagination, where shimmering veils of pure energy fall at yearly intervals, sealing in everything and everyone on its surface at that moment into a time pocket. Imagine yourself as a settler living in a translucent pocket that makes your life an almost ageless state, as time in each pocket passes so slowly that senility and death are meaningless concepts. Your immortality has a price. You have free interaction only with those of your generation. You see settlers from 10 years before as blurred outlines, and a settler from 50 years before can walk right through you. Imagine yourself as a tourist struck by the wonder of the shimmering planet, yet careful to heed the date of the next predicted veilfall, knowing that to be on Aslarok at veilfall is to be there forever. Imagine yourself as the one man on Aslarok who knows for a certainty that this time veilfall will come early and without warning. This sounds intriguing, and I am a fan of Saberhagen. And next we have Starmind by Dave Van Arnhem. That's another uncredited Paul Lair cover. I haven't actually read anything by Van Arnhem yet, but I do own one other book he wrote. It's a TV tie-in novel for the original 1960s Lost in Space. Then there's Sun's End by Richard Lupoff. That's a cover by Ron Miller. Okay, this next one is one that I'm also unfamiliar with, but I love the premise. This is The White Ship by Ian Cameron. Caves of ice and fire. It was a treacherous undertaking, an expedition to a glittering ice-capped Antarctic island, ravaged year-round by the primordial fury of the elements, seething with volcanoes ready to unleash their earth-shaping fire, and haunted by subterranean caves that echo with supernatural cries, a place of savage beauty and unpredictable terror. They came in search of the legendary golden seals, but cut off from the outside world by the impenetrable ice, they encountered a chilling vision of a ghost ship on an ill-fated voyage and were forced to relive the past in an ice-bound hell. An Antarctic mission encounters a ghost ship. Enough said, I am in. That sounds awesome. And then we have Mission to the Heart Stars by James Blish. I have quite a bit of Blish, but don't know this particular title. Next, I have a few by Brian Aldiss. I love Starship, aka Nonstop, and Hot House, so I've been collecting Aldiss whenever I come across them. Uh, these are some that I did not have. Neanderthal Planet, The Long Afternoon of Earth, and An Island Called Moreau. Of course, I also picked up a couple that I already own. Bow Down to Knoll. So this one's going in the giveaway. And Cryptozoic, which I also own. So there is a 2-book Brian Aldiss bundle. You know the deal. Comment "want Aldiss" or some such thing to be entered into the drawing for those. Moving from Aldiss to Clifford D. Simak, we have Ring Around the Sun. Next is Why Call Them Back from Heaven? And that's cover art by Leo and Diane Dillon. They Walked Like Men. A Choice of Gods. And Cosmic Engineers. Another author I'm unfamiliar with is Anthony Albin. This is The Day of the Shield. No credit on the cover art, but my guess would be Richard Powers. Then The Falling Torch by Aldiss Budrys. Cover art by John Schoner. And is that guy wearing a helicopter helmet? Oh, please, please let there be a propeller helmet in this story. I'm going to be so disappointed if there's not. Okay, move on. Next, we have Cinnabar by Edward Bryant, cover by Gary Lasasso. And then we have A Touch of Infinity by Howard Fast. This is a collection of his short stories. And that cover art is by Charles Gross. Oh, that's just unsanitary. For both the dude and the bird. Ugh. And my only Andre Norton in this haul, Judgment on Janus. I'm probably one of the few people who is actually trying to collect her entire catalog and having a surprisingly hard time finding her in thrift stores here. Anyway, next we have Brothers of Earth by C.J. Cherry, the cover by Alan Atkinson. Then Revolt of the Micronauts by Gordon Williams. I believe this is part 3 of a series, so I'll need to be on the lookout for the others. And then we have a Larry Niven, A Gift from Earth. And Dwellers in the Mirage by A. Merritt, with cover art by Douglas Rosa. Looks like they're battling some kind of demonic octopus. And I don't know if you can see it, but these 2 warrior women in the background, one is wearing her standard issue armor-plated bikini, but the other one, I'm pretty sure that's just a regular bikini. Come on, guys. How's she going to protect herself in battle without proper boob armor? Okay, I love H.G. Wells. I have all of his novels and all of his short stories in multiple editions. And so I love it when I come across a version that I don't have. And this is The Empire of the Ants and Other Stories. I have these stories in various other collections, but I like the different cover art on each of these collections. And here's another one. This is The Inexperienced Ghost and 9 Other Stories by H.G. Wells. Next up, a few by Arthur C. Clarke. We have A Fall of Moondust. No artist credited, but it looks like Dean Ellis. And Earthlight. This cover is definitely Dean Ellis. Then Against the Fall of Night. Clarke had second thoughts after publishing this, so he rewrote this a couple of years later under the title The City and the Stars. This is the original version of that. And we have Tales of 10 Worlds, a collection of short stories by Clarke. Moving from Clarke to Ian Wallace, we've got Pan Sagittarius. Then The Rape of the Sun, with cover art by David Mattingly. And A World of Sunder, cover here is by Jack Gahn. A Voyage to Dari. This is one of the Croyd series. And wrapping it up on Ian Wallace is Z-Sting, which is also part of the Croyd series. All right, the last group we have for this segment is John Brunner. First is Time Jump. I have a lot of Brunner, but not this one. Next is Meeting at Infinity, which I have. So this is going to be a giveaway. And The Whole Man with Charles Mall cover art. And naturally, I already have this one, so giveaway. And finally, Born Under Mars with cover art by John Schoner. And of course, I already have this one as well. So that is a 3 Brunner bundle giveaway. So again, let me know in the comments if you'd like to enter the drawing for any or all of these. We have a Theodore Sturgeon, we have a 2-book Brian Aldiss bundle, and we have a 3-book John Brunner bundle. And if you haven't already checked out parts 1 and 2 of this haul, you can still enter into those drawings as well. So that's going to do it for round 3. I'll be back with part 4 of this haul, and we will have some more giveaways in that one as well. After that, I'll do a video where we draw names and announce the winners for all of the giveaways. If you want to know when those videos are out, feel free to do the whole subscribe and notifications thing. I look forward to seeing you all next time. Until then, thank you again for all the comments, and thanks for watching.